My supreme namaskarams to all of you. My name is Nerala Malyadri. I am now practicing as an advocate of Honorable Supreme Court and also the High Courts of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana after my retirement voluntarily as a district judge. Today, I want to discuss with you about some of the important remedies available in the Constitution of India and how they are being utilized or misutilized by many of the citizens and organs of the state. When we look into Constitution of India and overview, we'll find that everyone will agree Constitution is supreme law of the land. Constitution is supreme law of the land. The law is above than anybody and we have to follow the law. What is the meaning of Constitution? A document having special legal sanctity which sets the framework and principal functions of the organs of government within the state and declares the principles by which these organs must operate. This is one definition. But precisely, in short, if you ask me, I say the law, the body of the law governing the working of the state and their relationship between the state and its citizens. What is a state? It is defined in Article 12. What is the law? Defined in Article 13. We have the preamble of our Constitution, very, very noble. If you look at the preamble, you will find that what we want to achieve is an Indian federation with the goals of democracy, with the goals to achieve certain important systems, organs and philosophy through the instrument of law. What are they? Democracy, sovereignty, secularism and socialism. They are the four pillars of the Constitution of our Constitution. Then India is a quasi-federal or hybrid federal society. We have got fundamental rights. Fundamental rights which are fundamental for the governing of our country. How they are governing our country we will see. Look at one thing. You are having some property. If that is not protected under law and as per law, then how will you enjoy it? In order to enjoy and improve your strength and right and achieve the goals, we need to have definitely a law. Law provides certain rights and duties. We have fundamental rights, out of which Article 32 and also Constitutional right and Article 226 are very important. Right to education, right to dignity, right to life and whatnot, all of them are provided in the fundamental rights of us. Suppose when you are having some jewelry with you, you have to keep it. You must have privacy. You must have safeguarding of that for you. And your life has to be protected. There are 4 articles which are very important. One is Article 13, another is Article 359 and another is 32 and 226. Article 13, it discusses about the law and it says the state organs shall not violate the constitutional laws and if they are violated, they will be struck as inconsistent. Then we are having 359 article. It says that your fundamental rights cannot be suspended except during the course of emergency. Then part 3 of the Constitution talks about fundamental rights. It extends from Article 12 to 35. Article 32 is very important fundamental right. Mainly talks about 2 types of rights and powers under Article 32. Individual fundamental rights is violated, then one can approach the Supreme Court. and directly under Article 32. Then empowers the court, Honorable Supreme Court, to grant remedies under 5 kinds of writs, and that is protection of fundamental rights are guaranteed under Article 32, and Honorable Supreme Court by issuing writs can protect your rights and can hold the particular act is unconstitutional. Exactly same power also given under Article 226, but in Article 226 you can approach the Honorable High Court, and the Honorable High Court, apart from giving these writ powers, it also gives power to issue any other remedies when your fundamental rights are violated or otherwise. When a fundamental right is violated, you can approach either Honorable Supreme Court or High Court directly. Even without approaching the Honorable Supreme Court, Honorable High Court, you can directly approach the Honorable Supreme Court. They both provide for issuing of rights. There are 2 major differences between these articles. Article 32 is limited, as I said, for protection of fundamental rights, whereas Article 226, writs can be issued for any other person, any other purposes in addition to fundamental rights. Article 32 falls under Part 3 of the Constitution. The constitutional remedy is provided by way of fundamental right, whereas Article 226 is not a fundamental right, but it is a constitutional right. We are having 5 types of writs. One is habeas corpus, 2 mandamus, and certiorari, writ of mandamus, and we are having other remedies also apart from the writ remedies, but the writ remedies are very important. As I said, we are having 5 writs, 5 writ remedies. One is habeas corpus. Habeas corpus, you know very well that under Article 226, apart from these 5 writs, you can also get remedies for other constitutional remedies for other purposes also. Though Article 226 is not a fundamental right. Habeas corpus, mandamus, certiorari, prohibition, and quo warranto. These are the 5 writs, and these names are Latin names. Writ means a kind of remedy. Writs have been claimed under 5 heads. Habeas corpus, let us say habeas corpus. What do you mean by habeas corpus? To have a body. Suppose this is a very, very powerful remedy. If the state illegally detains a person, then you can approach the Honorable High Court or Supreme Court either by individual himself or by the relatives of him or any person for release of that person. Then writ direction can be given to the detaining authority, questioning him on what basis he was detained and directing him to release that person immediately and stop that illegality. That is called habeas corpus. If the detention is lawful, it's okay. Otherwise, as held in Rudra Shah and State of Bihar case, if detention in the prison is illegal, then immediately he can be set him at liberty, and immediate release can be ordered by the Honorable Supreme Court as per that writ orders, and also damages can be ordered for illegal detainment of a person apart from production of that person by demanding him to produce. Second is writ of mandamus, which means commanding. The court commands a person, whether statutory or non-statutory, university or like that, who is doing public duty and performing public duty, commanding that public official to perform his public duty properly and correctly in terms of law. To understand this case, we have to see AR 1983 Supreme Court 324 page number case law in order to understand what is this writ. Suppose a bank, it has approached you and agreed to give some loan and released some funds and refused to release other funds, then the court can ask that person who is discharging the public duty to perform his duty and give the rest of the loan. The third writ is certiorari. This can command the lower courts to submit the records for review. All the records can be ordered to be produced by ordering through a writ certiorari. When there is excess of jurisdiction, second is lack of jurisdiction, third is jurisdiction is unconstitutional, and fourth is there is violation of principles of natural justice. If the court finds that a judgment is illegal and without any jurisdiction, it can set aside that judgment. So, certiorari is a writ with powers directing the courts or other organization. You have Gollapalli Nageswara versus APSRTC case and AK Krupal versus Union of India case. Both these cases are very, very important, and you can verify them from the records. Suppose lower court judgments can be held as illegal and quash them. Fourth writ is prohibition, writ of prohibition. How to understand this? Prohibition and certiorari has got a lot of difference. Prevention is better than cure, as you know. The difference between prevention and cure, the say that way it exists, the difference between prohibition and certiorari. Prevention, prohibition. Prevention is better than cure. If an illegal judgment is announced, to quash it, you can seek for the remedy of certiorari. If an illegal judgment is going to be pronounced, then to prevent the mistake, you can seek the remedy under certiorari. So, one is over, then prohibiting it. Another is to be pronounced, then stopping it. So, prohibition is used until the illegality is there. So, fifth writ is quo warranto. Quo warranto. You are a college student, let us say. You have cleared college's entrance eligibility. Minimum marks required for qualifying exams is also you passed. But you ultimately it is found that you did not qualify that exam, and exam permission is not given for admitting. Then courts can question any public officer under giving it without under what authority that person has assumed the public office. If the officer's title is defective, then he has to vacate that office. So, if you ask a public officer that by what authority you assumed the office, then it is quo warranto. Under that writ powers you can ask. When you are stopping the prohibition, pronouncing judgment, it is under writ of prohibition. Certiorari is already pronounced judgment is illegal, you can ask for non-implementation it. Then mandamus. Directing authority to perform is public duty. It is a writ of mandamus. Like if a person is in illegal detention, then writ of habeas corpus can be sought and relief can be granted. So these are the 5 writs under which relief can be granted when a fundamental right is violated by either by the Supreme Court or the Honorable High Court. Then under Article 226, you are having a right to approach the Honorable High Court directly, and under that article, definitely apart from seeking for writ remedies, you can seek for other remedies. So High Court is having more power than simply implementing the fundamental rights. So with this, I have discussed today about important remedies available under article under our constitution. Thank you very much. Please subscribe this video and request your friends to subscribe the same. Thank you.